Alright, how's everybody doing today? Today is Wednesday. I'm not real sure that I'm going to be able to actually fish. I was just sitting here looking at the USGS. I've been following all week. We had a lot of snow melt, rain, and I haven't really been able to get out. It's been flooded everywhere. But today I'm going to try. I'm going to go up a few places that might have some smaller creeks that are fishable. I tied some big, like a bugger jig last night. You know, it'll sink pretty quick. We'll try to see if we can entice a strike. I don't think we'll be able to fish any of the main big streams, which is fine. So let's hope that we get some fish and even just get in the water and make a few casts. Alright, so I'm out here. It's definitely not my first choice where I wanted to fish, but where I wanted to go is definitely high. But came up creek a little bit. Love the color. Got the 6-weight Echo 3, that big jig, 4.6 millimeter tungsten. Let's see what happens. So I didn't even get to throw in yet, and the young kid's down here fishing, and he yells, "Got a big one!" So maybe I'll give him a hand netting it. I think he's using those jerk baits, I believe. But let's see what he's got here. Big brown. Big rainbow.
Yeah.
He's in that current there, huh? You said a rainbow?
Yeah, it's a big rainbow.
Male? Could you tell?
Looks like a female.
Yeah, that's usually what they are. Oh yeah.
It's funny, we can catch just as big fish
I
in
know.
open water about.
You got to have the water up like this. And
I
then
know, I saw the little J was running like
oh yeah, that's a hammer.
2000 CFS, and I was like, oh, might as well.
It was borderline at the Harvey, so that's why I came up here.
Yeah. Big river. It's a cool place.
I was here about 2 weeks ago, and I was standing here when the water was low, and there was a guy on the other side of that bridge just pounding fish. So I knew once the water came up, they would come up, and here we go. He's ready. So that was pretty cool, huh? As I said there, he's right where I was fishing the other day. If you remember that last video, maybe like 2 videos ago, there was a guy down there catching some big fish, and I knew once the water came up, those fish would come up, and unfortunately he beat me here. I didn't feel like getting up early. I'm lazy, but pretty easy accessible place. Not much walking involved here, but okay. That was cool though. Real nice kid. So yeah, I'm glad he landed that. Let's see if I can get one. Decided to leave that place. It's kind of a small area. I don't really like the high hole. He got there right before me. I didn't really want to go upstream of him or downstream. It's just, you know, there's enough there for a couple people to fish, but I don't know. We're gonna try our luck down here. I came downstream here. I actually skipped this on the way in, hoping there was nobody where we just were. But now that somebody's up there, we're gonna come down here, and I don't know. I think we're gonna do okay. But what I think doesn't matter. Either way, we got out. We're gonna have a good time. It looks like it's pretty high, moving good, but we're here. We're gonna give it a shot. First glance, actually looks pretty good. I'm not even gonna step in the water. Usually fish like to hang out, you know, when the water's up like this, kind of in the slower stuff, and that's the first off this bank. That's the first couple feet. So we'll jig this black bugger around first where we step in. Over here we go, right there by that brush. See if there's anything in there before we tramp in and scare them. Kind of swinging it now through the middle, pulling line out each cast to try and cover as much as you can in this type of water where it's up and moving. It's a little cloudy, but they can see it. A couple strips, move some water. All right, so now I'm getting up here and a little bit faster. So all I'm gonna do is tight line it. Just gonna throw it in, pull all that fly line off the water, just let it bounce on the bottom till it gets below me here, and then we'll kind of put the tip down and swing it. Try to get some line out. I want to swing it past that dead tree over there. I'm gonna change colors. We'll try an olive next. Olive and black to me look kind of the same underwater, but there's the olive before I get it wet. Another big heavy one. Actually, it looks a little better than the black in the water, so I was wrong when I said they look kind of the same. It actually looks a lot better. So all right, let's give us a cast out there. We're hooked up here. Didn't really have the camera on. He was right under that tree there. I believe it's a rainbow. Feels pretty nice. I got 8-pound test on just so I can kind of not lose them, but yeah, it's a decent rainbow. He's right under that tree there. I just kind of swung it past him under the tree and gave it a few jigs and it went tight. Alright, so on that cast there, just kind of threw it out under that tree and drifted it a little bit. Also, I changed to the olive a few casts ago. That could have been a little bit why we caught him, because I did run the black through here. Alright, well, we're back to the black one because, as the saying goes, whenever you find a pattern that works, you lose it. And I did throw it into that tree over there, so it's totally my fault. But yeah, and I don't have another big olive. I have olive, but not quite that big. So there's the white one before it gets wet. Usually when the sun's out, oh yeah, it looks good. You can tell by the way it moves in the water with the color of the water. I really like the way that looks. I don't use white a lot. I mean, granted, the sun's not out much, but let's see what happens. Just had a follow. I don't know how it looked pretty decent. I was just kind of stripping it back slow, and he flashed on it. I don't think he was real interested. I think he just wanted to see what it was, but he definitely followed it in. As I work back downstream, like I said, I'm just going to swing it. This definitely isn't as heavy as that other olive, but it's getting down pretty good. Just swinging it over to the bank, kind of letting the water do all the work and then just jigging it back. So yeah, when you want to swing this, I'm sure a lot of people know how to swing, but you're just going to cast like kind of downstream into the I don't know, 45 degrees of yourself. Kind of give it an upstream bend, and then you're just going to follow it. I don't know if I can see it on the camera. Keep your tip down, just kind of follow it, and you can see the line straightening out there. You'll feel if a fish hits that, and then as it gets in front of you, just kind of give it a few jigs, let it go limp, slack, whatever. That way it'll hit the bottom again, and then take a few steps. A lot of guys that do this, you know, you do the spay cast. I think that's a snap tee. I can't remember what they're called, but you don't even, a lot of guys, they just hold the same line in their hand. They don't, you know, they don't strip it back in. They might give it a few jigs here and there, but They don't do any stripping. That way, you know, as you're walking down exactly where you're, you know, how far your line's out, where you're going to cast, which is a good strategy also. And I think letting it go slack is pretty important today with the water going a little fast. It just allows it to dive back down and kind of give it a snap tee, if that's what it's called, and then roll it out about, I don't know, 45 degrees upstream end, and then you're just following it. It's going a little fast today for sure, and the water's pushing it downstream of us, and then you can do that cast again. But I kind of like to give it a little slack, let it dive down, give it a jig, slack. Doesn't seem to be working, but so it doesn't seem like the swing is producing any type of action. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it over there the same way. I'm going to give it an upstream bend, let it sink a couple seconds, then I'm going to kind of just jig it the whole time. A little bit of slack, tighten it up, a little bit of slack, just kind of give it action the whole way this time. Well, that wraps it up. Quick video. I didn't have a whole lot of time to be out today. Had fun. Man, it's beautiful. It's probably 50 degrees. Got to see that kid land that big one, which was awesome. Then I went down below, downstream, and worked the streamer. Just tried to, you know, hit the slower water close to the banks. You know, we learned some stuff. We learned bring at least 2 olive woolly buggers so you don't lose them. No, I'm just kidding. Just kind of unprepared with my fly selection. I feel like if I had a little heavier one could get down in that section, but whatever. I had fun, landed one, had a few swipes, but just get out if you can. And you know, when the water's coming down now here in PA, it's gonna be great fishing. So I'll be back out tomorrow actually. Stay tuned.